Hello everyone, and welcome to a quick team builder for the PUDL. So we are joining the PUDL for I believe this might be their first ever time doing a Wi-Fi league. But yeah, it seems like great, and there's loads of lovely people behind the league. So I'm very excited to be joining. This is my second ongoing league I'm in now. It's the first time I've ever been in two leagues at once. So I don't know if it's going to be too much for me or how it's going to be, but it's going to be fun, I think. Some people do like five, and I don't know how they do it, but yeah, getting into two at the same time, I think should be hopefully manageable, and I hope we can do well in both because the VDL has been going okay so far. So yeah, let's get right into the team. So this is not a low tier draft league like the VDL. This is a just regular draft league, and I believe we had 120 points to draft 10 Pokemon with not the like with 15 Terra points, with a maximum of a 10-point Terra Captain and a maximum of 3 Terra Caps. So going into round one, obviously I wanted to. We have a very defensive team in the video, so I wanted to draft something very different, and that's why I decided I wanted to draft a rain team. Now, I am a very vocal fan of the Duraldon or Child Online, but I've never used them in Draft League, so I thought this is the time, and I have to give a quick sorry to AP because I kind of sniped this off him. But first pick, we took up my favorite Pokemon, Archaldon, and it's such a great Pokemon. Now, some people like to claim it's not a pseudo legendary, but I'm on the it is a pseudo legendary supporting side. But it's such a great Pokemon. Like its ability is changing from to get stamina, which is just such a great ability, and sturdy. It's so much better than Duraldon in that sense. Also, it's got higher defenses, which are obviously boosted further by stamina. And it's just got so many great options. Like um, its HP and defense are really good. Obviously, that speed isn't the best, but we can run an AV to increase that. 85 speed isn't the slowest thing in the world, but it's a good speed. 125 special attack is super strong. And yeah, this thing can be so many different things. It could be like Iron Defense Body Press, it could be Assault Vest, it's like so many good moves. Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Electro Shot in the rain, which we'll get to, but we do have a rain team, so there is our one turn boosting and hitting. Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere. It's just got so many great options that it can run, and I'm really excited to use this thing at to its full potential. It could even be, I mean, like 105 attack, and this thing has access to Swords, so this thing can even be physical. So yeah, this thing has so many great options it can be, which is why I'm super excited to use it. Going in next, we picked up Terrapagos. Now, Terrapagos is one of those mons that's been going around draft, and I kind of wanted, I've never used it, so I wanted to see if it was, worth all the hype it's been getting. Its ability is so unique where it transforms into this form. And then it's the first move. It's kind of like multi-scale, but better in a way, because whatever the first move hits you is always not very effective, which is really nice, especially in a normal type where you don't have any moves that are not very effective. So yeah, it's really good for it, and it's also super bulky with a 95 HP and 110 in both defenses. But it also does so much damage with 105 special attack. It's also at the same speed of 85, which obviously not the best to have everything at the same speed. But yeah, I think it was in that kind of speed tier where I enjoyed. It's like Terra Starstorm, its signature ability as well, being able to hit. I think it's 120 base power. Let me double check that. Yeah, 120 base power, just no drawback, is incredible. Yeah, it's just an incredible stab move. This thing has so much coverage. Like it gets every move in the game. I think other than Shadow Ball, I think it gets every special attack. Even as Body Press to use that defense, Calm Mind setup alongside Rock Polish. It has Meteor Beam, what am I saying? Power Herb sets. Sorry, went off on a tangent there. And then it has just so much coverage: Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, Dragon Pulse, Earth Power, Energy Ball, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, like Ice Beam. It has everything that it could need. Like, and also it's a great spinner because we need a spinner, which I forgot to mention. March Island does have Stealth Rock, so that's also another really good thing about it. And it does act as our bulky steel type. This thing is a great spinner as well, so it gives us another way to get rid of hazards, but also has the Stealth Rocks to set them up. I didn't know it got stored power. That could actually be really fun. But yeah, like obviously Surf and the electric moves as well. And one of the few mons that gets access to Toxic as well, which is very interesting. I didn't know it got Weatherball as well. I'm just like kind of looking at this for the first time. Yeah, so this thing has so many options. It could be like bulky, like, or it could be offensive. Like it has so many different sets it can run, and that's what I really love in a Draft League Pokemon. It's something that can just be so many different sets. Yeah, so this thing is just going to be something that can literally come every week and works really well on. I'm going to spoil it now because you can probably see Politoed is up next. But yeah, we are a rain team, so this thing is kind of one of those mons that can fit in anywhere. It can fit onto the rain side, or it can fit in if we don't have that much rain. So like we can be non-rain if we want. So like if we choose not to bring rain, this thing is really good in or out of rain. So yeah, this thing is a really strong second pick. And honestly, I'm surprised I didn't go first pick. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this thing and see if it's gonna live up to all this hype of being like one of the greatest Draft League Pokemon. I don't really think it is at that level, but maybe it'll just like pop off and get like 20 kills in regular season, and I'll be eating my words at the end of the season. So we'll see. Next we have Politoed. Now we picked up Politoed because this is obviously Drizzle, our Drizzle boy, to get up rain. Now obviously this thing was a lot cheaper. I think it was at 6 points instead of Pelipper, which is like 13. Pelipper's obviously the other rain setter. So I was like deciding between this and that. So in the end I chose Politoed just because even though I think obviously it's a lot weaker than Pelipper, I think it's worth it. And I also picked this up because I wanted the rivalry with BP's Poliwrath. But yeah, I'm sure he's already explained how much he loves his Poliwrath. I'm really excited to use this thing. Like, it's like everyone always says Politoed is bad, but I don't know. I enjoy Politoed. I'm gonna be honest. When I drafted it, I did think he got flip turn, so I'm a little bit annoyed it doesn't get flip turn. But yeah, I think this thing is cool. Like, it has obviously the water coverage. Brick Break is not bad for breaking screens. Earth Power is something that I'm very interested in because obviously you can hit electric type super effectively with Earth Power or Earthquake, which is really nice. This thing is also very good SPDF wise. But yeah, it has Encore, which is another. I really like Encore in Draft League because being able to just Encore set mons into their setup is just super good. It has Haze to get rid of stat boost, Focus Blast as well. Hydro Pump does a lot. I don't think we'll ever be running Hyper Voice, but that's another thing. Also, it does have the Whirlpool Perish song, so it can be a Perish Trap set if we want that. Psychic is also really nice. Weather Ball is very interesting. It gives us a good, just 100% accurate 100 base power. And obviously it has the belly drum. Like, I feel like I'm obligated to bring this set at least once. You know, whenever you have a mon with belly drum, you always want to bring it once. But we'll see if that ever comes. Maybe we'll belly drum on AP's Poliwrath and kill his Poliwrath that way. We'll see. But I don't really think we'll be using much of this. But yeah, Psych Up is very interesting. That's something that could work in a weird set. But yeah, this thing is fun. It's the lesser of the rain setters, but I'm excited to use it nonetheless. This thing is going to be basically just there to set up rain whenever it does come. But I am hopeful that this thing will show itself to be a bit more than just a rain set and maybe encore a few things, gets a few kills of its own. We'll see. Next up we have Barrascuda. These are not in the order I picked them in. I've just realized now. I think they once were, but they are not because Barrascuda was like the second to last one I picked. But anyway, Barrascuda is one of our Swift Swimmers. This thing was 11 points. And it was something that I was personally, as soon as I decided on rain, this is like the Swift Swimmer that I wanted. This thing is so fast. 136, it's super fast. It outspeeds most Pokemon outside of rain. So in the rain, it's just the fastest Pokemon possible, which is really good. 123 attack is so strong as well. Like, this thing has no bulk, but if it's hitting you, it's hurting really hard. It has Flip Turn to get out of things, Aqua Jet Full, obviously speed, and it has, I think it has Psychic Fangs as well. It does. So it can break screens with Psychic Fangs if it wants. It has Liquidation to hit really hard. It has Flip Turn, obviously, to get out. Drill Run is also really good. Close Combat, Flip Turn, Facade, maybe even one Poison Jab, Throat Chop. Yeah, this thing has a lot of great physical moves. This thing is basically, whenever it comes, it's going to be a fast physical sweeper that's going to basically Flip Turn around and do loads of damage. If it's in the rain, Liquidations are going to be really, really hard for my opponent to swap in. And it's something that you just have to fit. Like, on paper, like every single week, someone's going to need like a swap in, whether it's a water absorber or something else that just comes in on Barrascuda and doesn't take like 50% of its HP in rain from a liquidation. So yeah, this thing just causes so much havoc in a team, which is really, really nice. And I'm really, really excited to use it. If you haven't noticed, the naming theme is like Mario enemies. I'm going to be honest, I kind of forgot to give this a naming theme, and I was watching some Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, and came up with a naming theme that way, which is a great game, Mario and Luigi series. I think Brotherhood. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to play it. So next we have Raikou, which is our first Terra Captain. This thing can be electric, ice, and I believe ground. And Raikou is something, again, when I saw rain, I was like, I want to use Terra Captain Raikou. Raikou has always been my favorite of the legendary beasts. My favorite animal are tigers. And this thing is based off a tiger. So I always wanted to use one of these in draft, and I think this thing is super good. 115 base speed, like right in the middle there of the Terrapagos, Ochaldons, and the Barraskewda. It's super fast, can be really good as a Scarfer. 115 special attack and 100 speed F. This thing also, I believe, gets Calm Mind, which, so yeah, agility, Calm Mind. This thing can set up really well. Aura Sphere is always lovely. Extreme Speed is there as an option because this thing doesn't have the worst physical attack at 85. So this thing could also be a physical attacker, like, yeah. Extra sensory. It can also, can it get screens? Oh, it does get screens. So this thing could also be like a screener for us. And yeah, Scald in the rain is going to hurt a lot. Shadow Balls, it could be like sub Calm Mind. It could be like a fast Scarfer spec set with spexing around with Volt Switch. It can be like bulky and Thunderwave things. Or, oh, it has Weather Ball. I didn't even realize it had Weather Ball. That could also be really strong in the rain. Yeah, so it can set screens. Like, this thing has so many possibilities. Especially with its Terra options, Terra Ground, which allows us to hit other electric types like Lightning Rod Pokemon, or other things like bulky Steel types. Our Terra Ice, Electric Ice, is nothing really resistant, and then I think it's Magnezone, but obviously we hit that with Terra Ground. So yeah, Electric Ice is such a hard type combo to switch into, especially since we just Volt Switch around. So yeah, this thing is such a deadly Pokemon, and I think it's like it's still, of the 3 legendary beasts, I think it's talked about the least. Suicune has its role as the bulky, especially bulky water type, and Entei always has its role as like can be bulky, or is the fast like E-speed faring Mon with Terra Normal. But I think Raikou is underrated, and I'm really excited to use it. Next we have Beartic, which is our other Terra Captain, and obviously has the Swift Swim as well. This is a 1-pointer and was our second Terra Captain with, I believe, Ice, Water, Ground. Don't quote me on that. Let me actually double check. I'm not just messing that up. Where is it? I don't even have it here, but yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Ice, Water, Ground. So yeah, obviously water in the rain we hit super hard, and ground we can boost up our Earthquake. This thing has access to Aqua Jet, which is really good in the rain. Brick Break, Bulk Up, like this thing has Swords Dance ability as well, and Close Combat, Crunch. Yeah, this thing is so good, and you'd think like 130 attack hits so hard, and it has decent bulk with 95 HP and 80, which means it can oftentimes get up a Swords Dance. 50 base speed looks really bad, but when you get when it's doubled, if it has speed investment, it can outspeed a lot of things, which is really, really good. And it can even set up with, for example, Swords Dance. It can even be like a bulky Roar. Like, there's so many good coverage moves like Liquidation, Low Kick, Play Rough, Superpower, Stone Edge, Shadow Claw. Like, yeah, this thing hits so hard with any boost to its physical attack. It can even be like Loaded Dice, Icicle Spare, I'm pretty sure it gets. So yeah, this thing hits so, yeah, there you go, Icicle Spare. This thing hits so hard if we can get any boosts on it. And I think for 1 point, it was super good. So, and I think it was like something that could really help the rain team as well if we're running the rain core. Next up we have Howlucha, Mr. Farfel. That's the Mario, Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story coming into play. Yeah, this thing works really well with our Galarian Weezing's Misty Surge. It can get Unburden boosts. In general, it's also just really fast at 118, 92 attack. This thing could just get an Unburden boost, go to double speed, outspeed everything on a team, set up a Swords Dance, and just wreak havoc. It also has Encore, which is really good for setting up. We're never going to baton pass that, so don't remember not to do that. Here's Defog. It's our first way to really remove hazards as well, which is really nice. I mean, our second way, because obviously Rapid Spin Terrapagos, but I didn't have Defog in the video, and I've really been missing a Defog one, so I think it's really nice to have something that has Defog. Obviously, Encore has the Swords Dance option, High Jump Kick, which let's hope we never miss one of those. There's a lot of great coverage moves as well. Taunt as well, which is really nice, and U-turn just to get on out of there. Good, we're getting a good like U-turn, Volt Turn core, like Flip Turn, Volt Switch, and U-turn. So yeah, this thing is really strong Pokemon, and I think I really enjoyed Flamigo in video, and why not have another fighting flying type that does similar thing in Howlucha that just causes havoc in a team. So yeah, I'm really excited to use this thing. Next we have Galarian Weezing. This thing is so bulky on the physical side with 120 defense. 65 HP isn't the greatest, 70 speed def isn't the greatest, but this thing is super good. It's something like for example, set up T-Spikes, can clear smog away things, is another defogger, has 3 great abilities in Levitate to remove its ground weakness, Misty Surge to set up terrain to give potentially Howlucha a Misty Seed boost, or even Neutralizing Gas to turn off troubling abilities. This thing just can do so much. It has obviously the fire coverage as well, and so many different moves. I think Does that part? I don't think it's parting shot, but yeah, it can haze away boosts as well. Just taunt things, click toxic on things, will-o-wisp things. Yeah, this thing is just so great as a physical wall for us that I think the team kind of needed, because we had Terrapagos that kind of can sponge both, but I kind of want a dedicated, this is my swap into physical moves if we can. And it's just so unique as a Pokemon, and it's something that I've really wanted to use after I saw who is it using it in the video at the moment. I think it might be Tom. I don't actually. I'll probably have to double check that, but someone is using it really well. It might be Nev actually. Yeah, it's Nev who's ran a few really fun sets. That I wanted to try out myself. So yeah, I drafted it, and I hope it does well. Mr. King Boo himself. Next up, we have Kamek the Mimikyu. This Mimikyu is also another Pokemon that's like good Spadef, good Speed Tear. Disguise is just such a great ability. It can do so many things. You know, it can be bulky and will-o-wisp things, or it can be offensive instead of swords dances, and then just cause havoc into a team. So yeah, this thing is got so many good things. Does it have screens? It doesn't. It just has the light screen. But yeah, it does so many different things. Like it can bulk up or swords dance, boost itself. I don't think we're ever kicking Curse. But yeah, it can Destiny Bond as well. It can Drain Punch, is a really nice coverage move. Yeah, so it just boosts up and then it just causes havoc into a team. Or it can be bulky and be our Spadef wall if we need it. For example, like AV. Yeah, you can drop Thunder Waves. Or Trick Room is also a little fun thing they can do. If we are facing a Trick Room team, we can reverse the Trick Room that way. Wood Hammer, X's are great moves. Yeah, so this thing has one role really. It's the ghost type of our team to block spinners and other things, and it also can be a bulky Spadef mon, or it can be an offensive mon that causes havoc into a team. Yeah, this thing can do a variety of roles, which is why I picked it up. Next up, we have the pick that I think is probably going to make the thumbnail of this video. It's the Ogerpon Fire in a rain team, which everyone has been making fun of me in the chats, in the review of the teams. Everyone was making fun of this pick. I wanted this to be a Rillaboom, but that got sniped, so I took Ogerpon Hearthflame, like 4th pick. Everyone's like, oh, what are you gonna do with a Fire Ogerpon in the rain? Trust me, I will make it work. Okay, this thing is surprisingly good in the rain because it's a grass type, so it can be our counter to other water types that want to damage us in the rain. Obviously we are neutral to them, but it can also just be so good if we don't bring rain, because it just absolutely obliterates team. If our team is prepping for rain, we can absolutely smash through things. This thing I believe gets a 1.2 times boost on all of its moves because of the Flame Mask, which is really good. Obviously fire type IG Cudgel. Mold Break is also really good for a fire type. If we're facing like Flash Fire mons, or even like Sap Sipper mons, both of those we can break straight through. Or if we're facing like a Rotom Heat, it has Stomping Tantrum for that. Obviously it has Knockoff as well. This thing also gets Spikes, so it can be a bulky Spike set on lead. It has Encore, which I just said how much I love Encore. Play Rough, Low Kick, like Quick Attack can sometimes even come. Spiky Shield is a fun stopping move. Superpower, Synthesis, Taunt, U-Turn again. Pairing up with that core Trailblaze as well to boost its speed, Charm. Like, this thing can do so many. I don't think we're ever running Bullet Speed without the option of loaded dice. But yeah, even though this thing is stuck into a item with Hearthflame Mask, I think this thing can do really well. I don't think it will come much on the rain teams, but if we're ever choosing not to run rain one week, like we really don't have to because of the variety of our team, we can easily bring an Ogerpon onto the team and just cause havoc with it with people who aren't expecting it to come. So yeah, I think this thing could be really underrated, and I am not going to swap it out for, well, not this early, into Ogerpon Water and Ogerpon like Rock, even though those are both options and are cheaper, and maybe I should really consider them. But I am stubborn on this. I am keeping Ogerpon Hearthflame. The name P.E. Piranha fits too well. Actually, I don't think it's called P.E. Piranha anymore. It's called Dino Piranha because of the character limit on Pokemon, which is really annoying because I thought that was a better name for it, but it is now Dino Piranha from Super Mario Galaxy. But yeah, that's the team that we have, all 10 mons. This is kind of a quick team builder because I kind of forgot to record one and make all the graphics for it, so I'm not trying to anyone from the PUDL, I'm not trying to spite your league, you know, I'm just didn't have the time to make all this fancy graphics I made for video. But yeah, this is the team for PUDL. I'm really excited to use it. I'm really excited to get back into playing a league of higher tier because low tier is so defensive, and this league seems like it's going to be full of offense, and every week we're going to be going really aggressive, especially with the team I drafted of really, really fast, aggressive mons. I think we're going to be having a lot faster games, which is also nice, fun as well. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to use this team, and I think this is going up the same time, just because of how late I'm recording this, same time as week 1, so you should be able to go view week 1 right now, straight away of PUDL. I think we're taking on Entry Hazard Gaming. So yeah, I will see you lot in that battle, and we will see how we do there. Hopefully we can get off to winning ways like we did in the other league, but we shall see. So goodbye, everyone. I am very new to YouTube, so if you consider subscribing, that'd also be great. You can like or comment as well if you have any questions about the team. I will not respond to any. I will not respond rationally to any criticism of my Ogerpon Hearthflame, but you can feel free to post that if you wish.